Since we have already downloaded Jupyter Notebook in the previous lecture, now it's time to see the interface of a Jupyter Notebook and see all the features that Jupyter Notebook give us to write a code of machine learning projects. So for that, first of all, I'll just open my command prompt. If you have, then you must open your, that is, terminal if you are on Linux and Mac. Otherwise, if you are on this Windows machine, then just open this command prompt and just write Jupyter Notebook. If you have activated, that is, any environment, then go to that environment and write the Jupyter Notebook to that environment. Now you can see clearly this is our environment. Then whenever you just write that Jupyter Notebook over here, and this will open up. This is our browser. And if you are opening it for the first time, you should select any one random browser which might be your favorite, and it will open something like this. If you have any, that is, buffer, then you can just press enter in this terminal and it will load, that is, smoothly. So just make sure whenever your Jupyter Notebook basically becomes lags, and whenever it is not running smoothly, this Jupyter Notebook, make sure you firstly hit just the enter in this cell, and maybe that will just solve some of your problems, but not all. But it might be the case whenever the sum of these processes will be at the stack, and if you just press the enter from your keyboard on this cell, then it will be basically solving your problem. So now let's see this interface. So this interface is our Jupyter Notebook interface, and this is your basic, that is, navigation, and you can see your desktop, your document, and everything over here. So you can just go to the desktop if you want, and in this desktop, let me just go over here and I'll just create in our desktop the demo folder, and I'll just say demo, and in this demo I have opened this demo, but I want to open it from our Jupyter Notebook. So you can see demo has been opened, and inside this demo I'm going to create a new, that is, Python 3. So make sure that Python is installed firstly, and go to this new and create this Python 3 new kernel shell. So after that you will get this Jupyter Notebook opened. So firstly you can see this Jupyter Notebook logo. Right next to it you can just rename this as anything, like, let me say machine learning projects. So it's up to you what you want to give the name, and you can see the checkpoint is given, everything has been given here. And now we have this navigation right here, which is saying file, edit, view, insert, cell, kernel, and help. So this is all the important thing. So firstly you can see your kernel is running and it is trusted, and you can see this Python logo over here, which means we are writing the code in Python. And now you can see the cell right here. This is our cell where we have to write our code. Now at this time, whenever I just put my cursor at this cell and press enter, then you can see this pen will pop up. So this pen is nothing. So let me just show you one more time. Whenever I go over here, then this pen will show up. This pen represents that we are in the coding mode, and whenever this pen goes off, so you can see the pen goes off, then this mode is command mode. So we have two type of mode. First, whenever you have the cursor written in any cell, then it is a code mode. So basically code mode means you have to now write something over here. So this is code mode. And whenever you just remove this pen, you can just select in anywhere here. So beside this cell, if you select anywhere over here, your code mode will be turned into, that is, command mode. So we have command mode and code mode. So code mode is basically whenever you have this pen over here, whenever you are writing something, that is a code mode. And whenever you are not writing, whenever this pen will go off. So let me show you. Whenever I press over here, then this pen goes off. Now we are in command mode. Whenever we are in code mode, these cells will become green. Whenever we will be in command mode, this cell will become blue. Now what is the difference between this code mode and command mode? So whenever you are in a code mode, that means you are going to write a code inside this cell. So you can write something like print in our Python program, which is hello world. So hello world, and if you want to run this program, just press this run button, or you can also press shift plus enter from your keyboard. So I'll press shift plus enter. You can also press this run, then you can see hello world has been printed right here. So this is our coding mode, and this is here our output. So output is also shown inside the same Jupyter notebook over here. So you can see we have written first Python code in our Jupyter notebook, and this is code mode because we have this pen right here. Now let's go to the command mode. So command mode means you are getting out of this code mode. You are not writing anything anymore. So that means you can press any of over here, and we are now in the that is command mode, because pen goes off over here and this cell becomes that is blue. And whenever you are in a command mode, there are some of the operations that you can do, which you can just press by here. You can just press over here and you will get this command mode. So you can see different command mode over here. So first of all, you have to be in command mode, and if you press Y, it will change cell to the code mode. If you press 1 in the command mode, we will change cell to heading 1, 2 for heading 2, and so on. But only the important thing that we need in the command mode is whenever you are in a command mode, just press B from the keyboard. Just press B. So B is this B, capital B, that is B, basically B from the keyboard. And let me go in the command mode firstly. So I'm currently in a code mode. How to know that? Firstly, see the pen. So whenever this pen comes up, you are in a edit mode or a command mode here. So first of all, let's go to our command mode from the code mode. So now we are in the command mode because the pen goes off and this cell becomes blue. Now whenever you press B from the keyboard, new cell come up. So if you want to generate the new cells, you can do this. Go to the command mode, press B, and this is going to give us new cell where you can write different code. Similarly, if you want to remove these cells, firstly go to the command mode again. Just remove this pen, because you have to just press anywhere rather than this cell. If you press in these empty cells, then it is going to be our edit mode. If you just select anywhere rather than these cells, then it is going to be command mode. So I just pressed over here and it is command mode. So let me just remove these cells. If you want to remove these cells, just press X from keyboard. Just press this X. Just press X from that is cell. So now you are in a that is code mode, and pressing X doesn't do anything. So you have to first of all go to the that is command mode. Now we are in a command mode and press X. Then it is going to remove that is cells. So you can see cell has been removed. So these two operations is very important. Other than that, if you want to learn more about it, just press this icon right here. It is right here, this icon. So just press this icon and you will get all the mode that you can see. So all the operations that is based on this command mode. So whenever you press this command mode and F, it is going to find and replace. So whenever I go over here and press F, and you can see find and replace is popped up. So this is all we have about the command and coding mode. So next thing is to run the code, we press this run button. Similarly, you can see this play button over here, this to play button. So what this to play button does is basically, let's say if you want to run that is not only cell, one cell, let's say I'll say hello world, and I'll just go to again the command mode, press B to just put a new cell, and I'll just put here another print statement, hello world 2. So this is our to command. Okay, so this is our to command, and now if I go over this cell and press this run button, then this is going to run, but this statement is not going to run. If you want to run this statement, go to this cell and then press this run button. So if you want basically to run each and every code that is over here, instead of running one by one, then you can just press this button. If I press this button and restart and rerun all the cell, then you will see that we will have each and every output printed. So this way you can play each and every button. And similarly, we have these cells where you can see run cell, run all the cell and everything. If you want to insert the cell, you can also insert cell above, insert cell below, You can see all these operations. These operations will be useful to insert the cells and basically remove the cells and everything. And similarly, all other operations are quite normal operations, and you can see cutting the cells and everything. And go to the file now, and in this file you can download this file as you can clearly see here, IPython notebook. Here this IPython is, you can see IPYNB. This IPYNB is nothing but the, let me write it first. So IPYNB is nothing but this I refers for I, PY is Python, NB is notebook. So basically this is an extension of our notebook file. So this IPython notebook is the Python version for the data scientist, and this notebook is used in order to write the code for our data scientists, or like a machine learning project and so on. So you can download your project with many features here. You can download it as HTML, Markdown. Markdown is similar to HTML, and it is Markdown is simply a shortened version of HTML maybe. And notebook, IPython notebook, you can print it as your PDF, and you can also print or just download your file as a Python. So you can do this. And similarly, next thing what I want to show you is, whenever your kernel, if you see here kernel, that is kernel related error, go to this kernel and restart this kernel, restart and rerun. Or you can also change the kernel. So changing the kernel means changing the way you code in this notebook. So this notebook supports multiple programming language. So here the programming language is kernel. Since we are doing this programming in the Python, so inside the kernel you will have Python 3. If you have Java installed, R installed, then you will see that in this change kernel you will have different version of Python, Java and so on. So this way you can change your kernel. And this is all we have here. Now next thing what I want to show you here is, we are in currently, that is code mode. You can see here we are in editing mode. Now let me just go and create a new cell, and in this new cell you can see we are in this code mode, which is depicted over here in this drop down. You can see this drop down has said us that it is our code mode. But what if I don't want code mode? What if I want to just write some paragraph, write something in this Jupyter notebook? Then you go in this markdown. Just go in this markdown, and now this is not your coding mode. You cannot write here code. Basically this is a way, it is a simple language to allow you to write the HTML language. So if I say something like this, so let me take a simple example. Let me create a heading. So let's say I'll just create a heading. This is our sample example. So in order to create a heading, we use this hash. And if I now run this program, then okay, let me show. So now if I run this program, then you will see this has been created as a heading. So you can create this by going from code to the markdown. So markdown is basically a programming language same as HTML, where you can write something like paragraph or something like heading. You can import images, you can write latex and so on. So if you want let me show you, if you are doing program, like if you want to do something like have the heading, so let me insert the cell above, and here if you want like a heading, before just writing a code, you want the heading of your program, then what you need to do is change this code mode to markdown, and in this markdown write the HTML. So I'll just say I'm doing that, I am doing machine learning projects, and if I just hit this run button, then you will see that it has been changed to the heading. So this is heading 1. If you want heading 2, then what you can do is just add one more, that is hash. So just adding one more hash changes the width of your heading. So this single hash is for heading 1. If you are familiar with that is HTML, so heading 1 is a big type of heading. So this big type of heading is for single hashes, will create h1, and if you want like a small type of heading, then just see here the difference is I just change this hashes, our heading, the size of the heading also changes. So see, the heading size changes. So that is done by these hashes. or else you can also use something like the code of that is similar to the code what we know in our HTML. So H1 was the heading that can be created, and I'll just say H1. So this is completely HTML. If you don't have any knowledge about this, then you should not basically get tension or basically worry about anything. You can simply see this. This is our HTML code, where this code is equivalent to the heading. So this is creating us a heading. If you don't know this H1 tag, then what you can do is simply write this hash, and this hash is going to create us a heading in our that is Jupyter notebook. So this is going to create us a heading. And similarly, you can use HTML language if you know inside this Jupyter notebook. What if you want to do the paragraph? What if you want to create the paragraph? So simply write this is a paragraph. This is a paragraph. Just play this and you can see this is our paragraph. This way you can just print your paragraph of text. Similarly, if you want maybe anything like underscore or mark emphasis or something like that, then what we can do is, let me show you. If you want like italics, so if you want this paragraph to be in italics, then you can just put here single this that is asterisk, and if I put here also the asterisk, if I print this, then you can see our paragraph has changed into italics structure. So this asterisk is for the italics structure. And similarly, if you want bold, then just give this 2 asterisk. This 2 asterisk is for the bold, that is bold character. And similarly, if you want maybe scratch, then you can use tilde. So using tilde, so let me show you. This tilde is going to give us this scratch in our text. So if I print this, then you can see this scratch or strike through these 2 slides or strike through this paragraph is done using this. So similarly, you can also create a list, images and everything using this paragraph, or basically all the HTML code. If you want to know the HTML code, you can just Google and just paste HTML code and see the output in the Jupyter notebook, because Jupyter notebook will give us a way to just implement that HTML code in the markdown mode. So just don't go in the code mode. If you are in a code mode and if your kernel is Python, you only have to write here Python code. But if you go in this markdown, you can write numerous type of HTML code. If you give this hash, this is for our paragraph. If you are paragraph not heading, this is for heading. If you give this hash, this is for heading. If you want to do simple paragraph, then simply write the paragraph in print. If you want basically different HTML code can also be written over here. If you want to create the paragraph, you can use this p tag and so on. So just research what are the HTML tags and how they can be used in this Jupyter notebook. You will get good grasp on it. Now the next thing that I want to show over here is the latex. So what is latex? So latex means we are doing this basically this machine learning project, and in this machine learning project we have to implement the math. And what if your that is supervisor or your company project manager told you that include the math behind your project? What if you want to show the math also? So what if you want to show the equation in this basically in this Jupyter notebook? So in that case you have to use the latex. So if I show you, so latex is nothing but a way to write a mathematical equation inside this Jupyter notebook. So if I show you a simple equation over here, so let me write a simple equation of a Euler's identity. So I'll just show you how it is done. So firstly, you have to be in markdown mode. Make sure that you are in a markdown mode, and after that put this dollar. So in order to write any mathematical equation, you have to put this dollar sign, and after that we just write the equation. So I'll just say e power and I divide by, that is a backward slash, so I'll say I pi plus 1 equal 0. So this is the equation that I want to plot, and if I run this, then you can see this equation has been plotted. So this is the latex. So whenever you write this code, and if I run here, then you can see our code has been printed and mathematical equation has been printed inside this Jupyter notebook. So that means if you want to write a mathematical equation, it should start with this $sign. So I'll also take a simple example. You can search this matrix in LaTeX. You can search this and just let me show you matrix in LaTeX. It should be matrix in LaTeX, and I'll just go to this math website. Let's see where it is. I'll just go in this one. So we have this matrix, but it is a complicated code. So I'll go to math.ubc. So let's go to this website, and here in this website, math.ubc.ca website, you will see that in here we have this code: create a matrix without bracket. And let's copy this code. Let's copy this code and just go in our Jupyter notebook and just paste it over here. And now if I just run this, then you can see matrix has been printed. If you want like bracket matrix, the square bracket, then you can just add this B and B over here and run this, then you can see matrix has been printed. So that means if you want to do anything related to math, like if you want to plot the equation, if you want to create a matrix vector, if you want to create a graph and so on, then you can use this LaTeX. So LaTeX is basically a way to represent mathematical equation in this machine learning project. So this will be helpful if you want to make a better documentation along with your code. So that is the reason we use LaTeX in our code. So LaTeX will give us a way to describe our code, what we have written over here, what we have written right here. It is like a commenting. You can just make proper documentation of your code using this LaTeX. And this LaTeX is basic way of representing a mathematical equation, mathematical forms in our Jupyter notebook. So this is a basic way to just compute our Jupyter notebook. So I have shown you some of the examples over here, how to run our project, how to just restart the kernel, how to do the LaTeX, how to print and everything. So this is the basic introduction of Jupyter notebook. Obviously we are going to use this concept often in the upcoming lecture, and we will see you in the next lecture.